distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for hundreds of years, the people of Borno have sustained themselves with farming and animal husbandry as a major occupation. And over the years, this occupation has been engaged in by the majority of our people. Unfortunately, in the not too distant past, and something that is prevalent not only in Borno, we have been having clashes between pastoralists and farmers. And it is because of that the immediate past president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, decided to establish what is called the Ruga scheme, that is the Rural Grazing Areas scheme. That vision was bought into by our amiable governor, His Excellency Professor Obadiah Umara Zulum, who decided that Borno is going to take the vision to a higher height. And the decision he took was to have 3 of these schemes across Borno State. Today we are here to commission the very first one, which is the Ngarannam Livestock Improvement and Ranch Settlement Unit, built by Borno State government and of course also supported by the federal government of Nigeria. This arguably is perhaps the very first state in Nigeria that is having something as gigantic as this. And I think His Excellency deserves a big round of applause. Having said this, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to invite His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Borno State, who is the Supervising Commissioner of the Ministry of Livestock and Fisheries, Alhaji Dr. Honorable Umar Usman Kadafu, to kindly deliver the welcome address. Your Excellency.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على النبي الكريم. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Engineer Professor Babagana Umar Usman, the Honorable Minister of Livestock Development, Alhaji Mukhtar Maiha, the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, ably represented by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, His Eminence, the Sheriff of Borno, Alhaji Dr. Abubakar Umar Garbi Alamin Al-Kennedy, honorable members of the National Assembly here present, Right Honorable Speaker, Borno State House of Assembly, ably represented by the leader and other members of Borno State House of Assembly here present, the APC Chairman, our guest speaker, former Chairman of INEC, Professor Tayebu Jega, Secretary to the State Government, Head of Service, Deputy Chief of Staff, Office of the Governor, Head of Service, Deputy Chief of Staff, Office of the Deputy Governor, Chairman and members of Borno State Elders Forum, the Honorable Commissioners and members of the Borno State Executive Council here present, the Managing Director of Northeast Development Commission and members of the Commission here present, members of the State Security Services here present, Chairman of the Organizing Committee, Special Advisors, Senior Technical Assistants, Senior Special Assistants, and Special Assistant to His Excellency, the Executive Governor, Permanent Secretaries, Local Government Chairman, Traditional Title Holders here present, and District Head of Mafa, esteemed beneficiaries, gentlemen of the press, all invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is with immense gratitude and pride that I stand before you today to welcome you all as we commission Ngarannam Livestock Improvement and Ranch Settlement as the first in the list of 3 settlements located on grazing reserve across the 3 senatorial district of Borno State. Let me especially welcome the Honorable Minister of Livestock Development, our very own Honorable Minister of Agric, who is heavily represented by the Permanent Secretary, the co-chair of the Presidential Livestock Reform Implementation Committee, and all other dignitaries to this important event. These settlements symbolize our commitment to sustainable development, peaceful coexistence, and economic empowerment for our people. The remaining 2 ranches settlement will be commissioned in due course as works has reached over 90%. In recent years, we have faced several challenges in Borno State, including conflicts that have disrupted farming and hardened practice, impacting negatively on our community's welfare and economic stability. Today, however, we are taking a bold step toward overcoming these challenges and building a more secure and prosperous future for our state. Hence, our able and dynamic leader, my governor, Professor Ngarannam decided to collaborate with the federal government and provided well over 60% of the cost of the construction of these ranch settlements, which are equipped for modern ranching. These infrastructures included, among others, housing estate. For the Ngarannam settlement, 101 houses were built by federal government, while the Borno State government built 360 prototypes houses and the road network to provide decent accommodation and conducive environment for the hardworking communities and their families. Education and health facilities. Each center is equipped with a simple and a health clinic to ensure that residents have access to education and healthcare services. Our aim is to uplift these by providing their children education and access to health services. Veterinary services. With dedicated veterinary clinics in each location to ensure that livestock health and welfare remain a priority, reducing losses and increase productivity. Dairy and beef breeds upgrading centers. These centers within the settlements will play a vital role in enhancing quality of livestock breeds, with a particular focus on improving milk and meat production. Borno State government will build and equip the multi-million naira Ngarannam breeding center and provide over 1.5 billion naira for artificial insemination, embryo plasma transfer centers, as well as liquid nitrogen complexes. Pasture development centers. These centers are critical for sustainable grazing as they offer dedicated spaces for pasture cultivation and grazing to ensure an all-year-round feed availability for livestock. Currently, Borno State Ministry of Livestock is managing 20 hectares of pasture under irrigation and cultivated well over 200 hectares of grain-fed pasture across the state. Milk collection centers. By establishing milk collection hubs, we create opportunity for dairy farmers to earn a stable income, increase local milk production, and meet our state's dairy needs. Water resources. Each center is equipped with numbers of earth pumps and solar power dairy boreholes agricultural production under small-scale irrigation, human and livestock needs, market and security outposts. To foster a safe and organized environment, we have also established security outposts and markets that will serve as commercial hubs for livestock products. These centers represent hope, opportunities, and progress for the people of Borno State and will settle, recover their livelihood, and build Borno even better. It is our hope that there will be a peaceful coexistence, facilitation of economic growth, and reduction in rural-urban migration by providing a supportive environment for hardened communities while also reducing farmer-herders conflicts. Let me extend my deepest appreciation to His Excellency, the Governor of Borno State, Professor Ngarannam, for providing exemplary leadership and support at all times and maintaining a strong partnership with the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security for partnering with us to bring long-term vision. I also see this opportunity to most appreciate the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development as well as the Presidential Livestock Reform Implementation Committee for the forward-looking plans to livestock development in Nigeria. Let me also extend my sincere appreciation to thank all the stakeholders, contractors, community leaders, security agencies, and everyone who contributed to this project. As we have commissioned this Ngarannam livestock improvement and land settlement, I urge the residents and beneficiaries to take ownership and make the best use of these facilities. With dedication, these centers can lead us to a more stable, prosperous, and greater development in all facets of life. Thank you, and may God bless you. God bless the State and the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Can we give His Excellency the Deputy Governor a great round of applause? Thank you, Your Excellency, and the Supervising Commissioner for Livestock and Fisheries Development. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are going into the speech of our guest lecturer. But before our guest lecturer is invited to come up, a few words that we need to know about Professor Atayu Muhammad Ujinga. Our guest speaker today is the Nigerian academic and former Vice Chancellor of Bayero University, Kano. He was born precisely today, 11th of January 1957. Can we clap for him and wish him a happy birthday? In Jaga, present-day Kebbi State, he had his early education at 7 Town Primary School, Jaga, between 1963 to 1969, and then Government Secondary School, Birnin, Kebbi, from where he proceeded to Bayero University College, Kano in 1974, graduating in 1979 with a second-class upper division BSc degree in political science. Professor Lega started work as a teaching assistant in BUK, and later he won a fellowship, and in 1981 proceeded to the Northwestern University, Evanston, Illinois, United States of America, from where he earned a PhD in political science in 1984. He returned as a lecturer in his alma mater in 1980. And along the line, Professor Lega was a visiting senior research fellow at the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, Lagos, between March 1992 to 1993. He was the visiting research fellow, Department of Political Science, University of Stockholm, Sweden, in 1994. He became the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic at Bayero University in 1995 and 96, and later Director of Center for Democratic Research and Training, BUK, 2000 to 2004. Professor Atayu Ujinga reached the apogee of his career at at the BUK in 2005 when he was appointed as the Vice Chancellor of the University. On 8th of June 2010, Professor Tayo Jenga blossomed and busted onto the national stage when he was appointed the fourth chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, a position he voluntarily relinquished on the 31st of June 2015, having meanwhile the most acclaimed general election in Nigeria when a sitting government was actually defeated and brought the APC into power. Professor Tayo Jenga was appointed the co-chairman of the Presidential Livestock Reforms Committee by President Bola Tinubu on the 9th of July 2024. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to please ask us to give a round of applause as I invite Professor Atayu Muhammad Jiga, our guest speaker this morning, to kindly come to the microphone. Professor Atayu Jiga.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Borno State, Professor Ngarannam, the Deputy Governor, the Minister of Livestock Development, representative of the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, His Eminence, our Royal Father, the Sheikh of Borno, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I beg to stand on the already established protocol. I say good afternoon to you all, and I am greatly honored to address you here today to speak on reforms in the Nigerian livestock sector, unlocking great potentials for economic growth and peaceful coexistence. First, I wish to express my sincere thanks and appreciation to His Excellency, the Governor, Professor Ngarannam, for extending the invitation to myself and my colleagues in the Presidential Livestock Reforms Implementation Committee to participate in today's event and to deliver this keynote address. I must say that today I have witnessed something I have never seen in our country. We have seen today the vision of a leader, the passion and the commitment to what clearly will help drive economic growth, uplift the lives and livelihoods of our people, and provide employment for our citizens. This is what any good leader ought to do. But in our country, I regret to say, we are short of good leaders. So when we see these kinds of efforts, we have to commend them, and we have to support them, and we have to ensure that not only do they mature, but that they are also very sustainable. I have no doubt from what I have seen, from what I have heard from His Excellency the Governor, and what we expect from the stakeholders in Borno State, that this is just the beginning of the turnaround in terms of empowering our people, in terms of reviving opportunities for economic development, and in terms of actually providing what Nigerians are craving for, which is the so-called dividend of democracy. Having said this, by way of introduction to the topic I'm asked to speak, I noticed on the program that while I'm to deliver the keynote address, I've been given 5 minutes to do so. And I have a 10-page paper, so what I will do is to try to read what I consider to be the important aspects and to summarize generally. But by way of introduction, I want to remind us that agriculture, holistically, is universally recognized as a pillar of national economies, and if appropriately positioned, and its vast potentials in all ramifications are tapped. In Nigeria at independence, agriculture was indeed a major pillar of our national economy. Then, regrettably, we got blinded by revenues from petroleum resources and allowed agriculture to slide back to the back burner of our economy. Now, agriculture in Nigeria and the livestock sector in particular can still be major pillars of Nigeria's national economy if only we can refocus and reprioritize and reposition them appropriately. Nigeria has abundant land and water resources, covering 923,767 square kilometers, of which over 708,000 square kilometers is dedicated to agriculture, to arable farming. Indeed, Nigeria possesses a vast agricultural landscape. However, its livestock sector is relatively underdeveloped. Traditional livestock practices in Nigeria are characterized by slow maturing local species of poultry and cattle, for example, and are subsistence in nature, which results in low productivity when compared to foreign breeds, leading comparatively to significant production gaps. For instance, local poultry in Nigeria takes over a year to mature, and it lays only about 40 eggs annually, while exotic poultry breeds can produce over 800 eggs in the same period. Similarly, local cattle average around 250 kg, while exotic breeds can weigh between 800 and 1,000 kilograms at the same age. These disparities underscore the urgent need for transformative reforms in Nigeria's sector in order to increase productivity, poverty, wealth, and both domestic and international trade through import substitution. It cannot be overemphasized that the livestock sector holds vast potential to drive economic growth, create employment opportunities, and promote sustainable development throughout Nigeria. However, significant challenges persist, and addressing them strategically and systematically is the best, if not the only way, to pave way for a prosperous and peaceful agriculture. Again, I must say that today, from what I have seen and heard, I have seen a very, very clear example of a model in which really we are strategically and beginning to systematically address the challenges in the livestock sector. In this presentation, I try to examine how comprehensive reforms backed by innovation, collaboration, robust policies and political will can unlock the massive potential in the Nigerian livestock sector, while peaceful coexistence among diverse communities. Despite being a multi-billion-dollar industry, immense growth potential, Nigeria's livestock subsector has yet to reach its full capacity due to persistent constraints and years of underinvestment and neglect. To fully realize this potential, it is crucial to tackle these challenges across the value chain and prioritize the development of the livestock sector. It is noteworthy to note that the Nigerian livestock subsector is actually one of the largest in Africa, rich in biodiversity and crucial to the livelihoods of millions of citizens. Approximately 42% of the population own livestock, which provide both food and income, especially for rural and urban communities. And this contributes about 9% to the country's agricultural GDP, and this is according to the Food and Agriculture Organization in 2019. The sector is primarily driven by extensive non-commercial pastoral systems, though the poultry industry stands out as the most commercially oriented, with 21% of poultry raised under intensive systems, compared to only 1% of the cattle. So commercialization is vital for achieving self-sufficiency in animal-sourced food production for national food and nutrition security. Given Nigeria's large population, the demand also for livestock products such as poultry, beef, milk is expected to surge almost exponentially, again according to statistics provided by the Food and Agriculture Organization. These growing demands demand significant opportunities, but also require a radical transformation, in particular in the livestock subsector, in order to meet these key demands or requirements. I must say that for this transformation to occur, we must then address many of the challenges that have bedeviled the Nigerian livestock sector. There are many, but in particular, 7 major ones need to be addressed as quickly as possible, and these are as follows. 1, low productivity and efficiency of local breeds. 2, inadequate infrastructure and services in the livestock sector. 3, conflicts between farmers and herders. 4, limited access to markets. 5, limited access to finance. 6, constraints in pasture, fodder, and feeds production. And 7, inadequacy and ineffectiveness of vaccines and for disease control. Now, Mr. President has recognized and embraced the need to confront and address all the challenges associated with the livestock sector, especially these 7, and to also as quickly as possible begin to unlock the vast potential of the sector for value addition to national economic growth and stable and sustainable socio-economic development in our country. Hence, Mr. President created the Presidential Livestock Reforms Implementation Committee, which he chairs and in which he appointed my humble self as the co-chair. And in the committee, there are 23 other experienced professionals and experts, all passionate about bringing about desired reforms in the sector. Now, the Presidential Livestock Implementation Committee has tried to do quite a lot since July when it is established. I can only summarize this very briefly by saying that the committee was able to produce an inception report which details recommendations on which the government, both at the federal and the state levels, need to implement in order to turn around the livestock sector. After the production and presentation of that inception report to Mr. President, a national stakeholder engagement was also organized. All the critical stakeholders that have been identified in all the relevant value chains in the sector were invited for two-day engagement, and additional recommendations were generated, and we have produced an additional report which is complementary to the initial inception report. Also, engagement with states has commenced, and really we are very excited about that because the governors presiding over the states, particularly in the northern states, have shown remarkable interest in terms of what opportunities are there and how they can help drive this for the benefit of their people. So far, we have already we had an engagement which we began with the Northern Governors in the Northern Governors Forum with traditional rulers, key traditional rulers in this part of the country. And since then, we've also had interactions at Bauchi State with the government and the stakeholders, Plateau State with the government and stakeholders. Now we are here in Borno State, and by next week we have plans to meet with the Osun State government, and thereafter we are discussing scheduling times for Kwara and Niger State, and we hope this will continue. And all we do is to explain the opportunities in the reform initiatives of Mr. President, and to draw attention to the establishment of the Federal Ministry of Livestock and what it can do in partnership with the states in order to begin to seriously, strategically, and systematically address the challenges in the livestock sector and then open up the opportunities that are in there. It is worthy to note that many states have since established ministries of livestock development or announced readiness to do so, a positive development that would ensure synergy, collaboration, and close working relationship with the federal government. It is the committee's recommendation that all states should establish such MDAs that would make them in sync with the federal government to facilitate and catalyze livestock development in our country. It is also additionally noteworthy that the livestock reform initiatives being driven by Mr. President have been attracting key international trading partners to invest in the sector. Many of you may have heard, for example, that JBS SA, a global leader in meat processing and export based in Brazil, but a global leader, has announced readiness to invest about $2.5 billion in the sector, and of course a letter of commitment has been signed by the company and the Minister of Livestock Development representing the federal government. Saudi Arabia, United States of America, and China have expressed interest or have given indications of willingness to invest in the sector. So already we are beginning to see positive response, but the challenge is how we can mobilize stakeholders internally to invest and to ensure that we have a sustainable process for the development of our livestock sector. So given all this, the committee will continue to use every opportunity to bring critical issues in livestock development to the national spotlight, to pursue collaboration and working relationships with all stakeholders, and of course, to continue to pursue continuous engagement with all stakeholders across all the value chains. I think there is no gainsaying that the economic prospects of reforming the livestock sector are vast, and a few perhaps can be highlighted. Increased productivity and efficiency, improved livestock production and processing, enhanced market access and competitiveness, and of course, job creation and income generation. Not to mention conflict mitigation and delivery of basic amenities such as education, healthcare, and other social services to communities, such as the pastoralists that for a very long time have literally been neglected in terms of getting benefits from government engagements. We believe that strategies for the future include tackling livestock value chain challenges with local specific approaches, expanding successful practices and models, adopting diverse and integrated strategies, and strengthening commitment to animal agriculture research with a long-term focus, developing more practical research business strategies for the subsector, especially, for example, in vaccine production and in genetic breed enhancement. Similarly, in establishing appropriate regulations with a focus on animal welfare and enhancing security within the subsector through technology and other regulatory frameworks. Use of technology to drive livestock development is also very, very important. And in this regard, in particular, a project about animal traceability is very, very important because it can also address criminality while it provides the necessary data for planning and execution of appropriate people-oriented projects and programs. I am pleased to note that the Borno Livestock Master Plan is being developed from Governor Zulum's 25-year master plan. I'm also pleased to inform you that the committee's inception report submitted to Mr. President, as well as the other National Livestock Development Project documents, are tailor-made to meet the unique development needs of Borno State. The committee will therefore wish to assure the government and people of Borno State of its readiness to support these developmental initiatives to foster the diversification of the state's economy as well as the well-being of its citizens. It is highly commendable and encouraging that Borno State has shown leadership and commitment to livestock development based on what we have seen today, and I need to reiterate this. It is gratifying that the state is ahead with the launching of the annual animal vaccination scheme and the distribution of livestock for livelihood restoration and the economic empowerment of citizens. This is a model that is highly recommended to all other states with similar characteristics and ecosystems. It is commendable that the state has both the Ministry of Livestock and Fisheries Development and the Borno State Livestock Management Agency. The ministry focuses on policy formulation and commercial livestock development efforts. It also addresses critical areas such as grazing reserves development and farmer-herder conflict resolutions. Bolma, on the other hand, is settled with capacity building, extension services, livestock breed improvement, smallholder pasture development, developing guidelines and standards in line with global best practices, and general facilitation of investments in the livestock sector. These are all commendable and very welcome. And obviously, rigorous implementation and ensuring sustainability is very, very important. In conclusion, as we move towards realizing the potential of livestock reforms in Nigeria, it is clear that innovation from livestock producers will be key in capturing new market opportunities. Both short-term tactical actions and long-term strategic commitments from all stakeholders are essential to drive success. Business as usual is no longer viable. The government's push for gradual sedentary and commercial livestock production marks a critical step forward. But this has to be done quietly with sensitization and with engagement that can ensure sustainability of the outcomes. For these reforms to succeed, they must have the full support of all stakeholders at both national and subnational levels. This collective effort is the challenge we must all link hands together to address so as to create meaningful, lasting change with value addition in the livestock sector in Nigeria. Even more specifically, state governments in partnership with the federal government must pay attention to the following. 1, productivity enhancement through breed improvement, both for meat and dairy value chains. We are very impressed to see what has been commenced here and the potential for expansion and sustainability. Secondly, investment in training livestock extension workers and sensitization of pastoralists and small-scale operators on good practices. Regrettably, over the years, perhaps since the 1980s, we have underinvested in extension work generally in agriculture, and certainly most especially in the livestock sector. So it's very, very important that federal, in partnership with subnationals, again improves investment in this issue of extension work, which is very, very critical to not only initial success, but also sustainability of the efforts. Thirdly, we need to invest in training a new crop of range management personnel who all experts are saying are currently becoming extinct in Nigeria. And this is very, very important. And since Borno State has been a leader in many of these things, you can also be a leader in that specific area. 4, identification of grazing as well as forest reserves and gazetting those that are yet to be gazetted. This is very, very important because we believe that these grazing reserves need to be given priority in terms of developing them and their capacity, in terms of providing facilities and infrastructure that can assist pastoralists, but also in particular in terms of perhaps apportioning some of them for development of pasture, feeds, and fodder in our country, which are necessary requirements, again, for developing the livestock sector. So 5, utilizing some of the grazing reserves with adequate infrastructure and facilities to encourage sedentarization and the resettlement of pastoralists, or at least to minimize long-distance seasonal migration with all the attendant or associated conflicts. 6, provide some of the land from grazing reserves and or forest reserves for commercial production of pasture and crops for feeds, such as maize in particular and soya beans, which are critical elements in animal feeds. 7, invest appropriately in equipment and technology for proper land clearing and destoning in order to help risk investment by both local and foreign investors, particularly if we are to go in the direction of commercial pasture production. 8, invest appropriately in vaccine production or acquisition and periodic vaccination against major risk diseases. And finally, 9, review archaic status or legislations and or make new ones to generally make the environment business and investment friendly, as well as to ensure proper compliance with standards and best practices. So there are a lot of areas through which the federal and the state can partner and add tremendous value to the effort to reform the livestock sector. And we believe that this is something that should be given the appropriate attention and priority that it deserves. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I fear that I'm already overtaxing the patience of many of you after all the day is well spent. So on a final note, I wish to reiterate that the committee remains ready and available for partnership with states to accelerate the tempo and success of livestock reforms. We can do this especially with regards to capacity building, research, data gathering and storage and analysis, as well as help to attract investments to states in their areas of comparative advantage. I must say that Borno State is probably in our country one of the first places where investments in livestock production was made. So you are positioned to be a leader, and Your Excellency, we are very, very happy to see a demonstration of that leadership. And it is, therefore, we commend you and we encourage you to continue to do the good work that you have already started. May God Almighty continue to guide you. May God ensure that all the good work is beneficial to the people of Borno State and to our nation in general. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Atayiru Muhammadu Jega, Co-Chairman of the Presidential Reform Implementation Committee on Livestock. Can we give him a round of applause, please? Thank you. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we now go into Goodwill messages now, and they are going to be short ones. And to undo this segment, I would like to bring on board a young man who is doing well as a master of ceremony. And it is my pleasure to invite Abdullahi Kirala to come and undo this segment of the Goodwill messages.
Thank you, sir. Your Excellencies, Your Royal Highness, the Honorable Minister, sir, the guest speaker, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. These game-changing projects and large-scale investment here in Ngarannam and course, across Borno State by His Excellency, the Executive Governor, is not only about retooling and, of course, resuscitating the livestock sector for massive return in productivity, but it is about instilling hope and, of course, killing despair in the minds of the people of Borno State. This represents the resilience and, of course, the tenacity of purpose of the Professor Babagana Umara Zulum-led state government in ensuring that Borno does not only emerge from its darkest days of Boko Haram mayhem, but in ensuring that it emerges stronger, more progressive, and more cohesive. Can we give His Excellency another round of applause, please, for that? As has been said by my outstanding co-anchor, we'll be going into the Goodwill messages session. And I would like to begin by calling on Mrs. Winnie Lai Solarin, the Director, Animal Husbandry, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, who doubles as the Director, Animal Husbandry under the newly established Federal Ministry of Livestock Development. Can we give her a round of applause as she comes to deliver the Goodwill messages within 3 minutes for paucity of time, please?
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, for want of time, please permit me to stand on already established protocol. It's a great privilege and honor, but with all sense of humility, that I make this very short Goodwill message. First, to draw our attention to the fact that this project we are all gathered here to celebrate and commission today was actually initiated by His Excellency to 2019. He sent a letter to Mr. President then, President Buhari. That letter came back with positive recommendation that this should go on and approval. And the Federal Ministry of Agriculture in 2020, when I became Director of Animal Husbandry Services, got this letter and went straight to finance to request for the funds. And since then, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished, eminent Nigerians here, His Excellency has not set his eyes back. He partnered with the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, made sure we were on our toes. We designed this project with the pastoralists at every stage. And someone asked me today, why is it that there's so much distance between one project and the other? And I said, the pastoralists wanted it so, and their wishes were granted. Today, we stand celebrating a man who has not relented in ensuring that his people receive the best. At every stage, he made sure that we kept to standards. And the Honorable Ministers of Agriculture from 2020 to 2024 also ensured that we maintain standards. Today, we are here. I can only say thank you, Your Excellency, for the opportunity to serve. Thank you, Your Excellency, for your hard work. Borno State stands first among equals. What we have today had been envisioned for all the states with comparative advantage, and Borno State is the only state that has made our dream come true. Other states receive funding. We are yet to see their commissioning. Thank you, sir, for this opportunity. Thank you, sir, for your forthrightness. Thank you, sir, for your efficiency and effectiveness. We can only ask for sustainability, and that's where my own Honorable Minister of Livestock Development will take on from here. He is also a man that is a round peg in a round hole, and that means that sustainability is assured. And you have already heard from the co-chair of the Presidential Reforms Implementation Committee and the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, ably represented. Here today, we have men that are willing now to sustain what we have today. Sustainability is key. We also all the other states is key into this laudable example set by Borno and give the livestock professionals, particularly the pastoralists, a sense of belonging in their states and give them their own livestock estates. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you very much, distinguished eminent Nigerians here. May God bless Borno State. May God bless the Republic of Nigeria. Thank you, sir.
Thank you once again. That has been Mrs. Winnie Lai Solarin, the Director, Animal Husbandry, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Can we give her a round of applause, please, once again? For want of time, I would like to beg the indulgence of the subsequent speakers for the opt-in time, that they should please to stick to 3 minutes, because His Excellency has a wide array of engagement to attend to after this program. The Goodwill messages continue, and I would like to call on Alhaji Sanusi Abubakar, the National Project Coordinator, Livestock Productivity and Resilience Support, as he comes to deliver his remarks.
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Umara Zulum, permit me to lean on the existing protocol because of time. On behalf of the National Coordination Office and the body of state coordination offices, I congratulate His Excellency, the eroded Governor, and the entire good people of Borno for the auspicious occasion of inauguration of Ngarannam Livestock Settlement. We are delighted about this key achievement for many reasons, and particularly because the theme and objectives of this landmark innovative intervention are in sync with the development objective of World Bank SYNC, LPRES project, and the fact that the settlement was conceived and built through collaborative efforts of the federal government of Nigeria and Borno State. We are also delighted that the teams and component units of the settlement speak to the spirit and themes of LPRES projects, Livestock Value Chain Development Hub. Your Excellency, an LVCH is a livestock agribusiness infrastructure that holds turnkey facilities that individuals may not afford on their own, providing critical service at various nodes of livestock value chain and market functions for ultimate scaling, productivity, and resilience at cluster and individual levels. Your Excellency, LPRES project will work with the government and good people of Borno State to put the settlement to productive and sustainable use through support for emergence and productive alliance. Your Excellency, because of your commitment, the World Bank has approved 2 LVCs for Borno State, the beef and the hide and skin. I congratulate you, Your Excellency, and the good people of Borno State. Long live Borno State, long live the federal government.
Thank you, sir. I would like to, at this point, call on Baba Uthman Gezerman, the National President, Mieti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, Magman, to kindly come forward and make his presentation. You have 3 minutes, sir.
أعوذ بالله من Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, the Honorable Minister, Minister of Livestock Development, His Eminence, and the Chief of Borno, all other protocols duly recognized, regarded, and respected. Before I run through my speech, I would like to deliver a little message to His Excellency. Bandira be fulbe assalamu alaikum. On yotama on jabama mi homni on. Your Excellency, I have a little message for you. Alangoro, baranzana din napkata nan karugiya, mana chin bay. Ama tunda baranzana din napkata bay da, mana du kolingin. Ama cha gaigiya. Surofula ta kanure akoade mai sulin. Ama tunda baranzana da yaye mai gidaye mai gakna fulata sozana. With this, I'll run through my little goodwill message. It is with great pleasure and heartfelt enthusiasm that we join hands to celebrate the official inauguration of the Ngarannam Livestock Settlement, Ruga in Mafa local government. This remarkable milestone stands as a testament to our collective dedication towards enhancing the lives and livelihoods of pastoral communities. The Métis Allah Cattle Breeder Association commends the vision and the efforts of the government and all stakeholders involved in the establishment of this livestock settlement. This initiative is not just a beacon of hope, but a practical solution to many of the challenges faced by the pastoral communities. It is a testament to what we can achieve when we come together with a common purpose and shared commitment to progress. It is an occasion that marks a significant step towards enhancing rural development, improving the livelihoods of our local communities, and promoting sustainable agro-livestock development across our beloved nation. We are deeply honored to witness the realization of this visionary project and enthusiastic about keying into the settlement program that promises to provide the necessary infrastructure, resources, and support for our members. The Ruga project represents a new dawn to our communities, offering opportunities for better health, education, and economic stability. By embracing this initiative, we are taking positive steps towards future where a cattle breeder and their families can thrive in harmonious and prosperous environment. As we move forward, let us unite in our dedication to sustainable development, environmental stewardship, and the well-being of our communities. Together, we'll build a stronger, more resilient agro-livestock sector that will benefit not only our immediate members, but also the broader society. Once again, I extend my deepest gratitude to all who have made this project a reality. Let us celebrate the achievements and work diligently to ensure its continuous success. However, I cannot conclude this address without extending our appreciation on behalf of the Chairman Board of Trustees of Magban, His Eminence the Sultan of Sokoto, and all our members across the nation over the support and concerns shown on our members in the state, especially in the areas of educational support exhibited by sponsoring the enrollment of pastoralist children into El Kenemi College and the building of a special pastoralist school here in Maiduguri. This is a program that has been sustained till today through the compassionate gesture of His Excellency Professor Zulum. 2, sustain provision for veterinary vaccines to herders and vaccination of animals as of when due, like the one we have just witnessed today. 3, inclusion of pastoralists in all palliative programs in the state, a rare opportunity for herders across the nation. 4, formation of committee to find out the causes of conflict between farmers and herders in the state. 5, establishment of Ruga settlement model in 3 senatorial zones in the state, out of which we are witnessing the inauguration of the first model here today. Most importantly is the creation of Livestock Development Ministry in Borno State, in line with the federal government's commitment to exploit the enormous potentials involved in the livestock value chain for the benefits of the economic turnaround in the country. It is worthy to note that the contribution of livestock to the GDP of agriculture is estimated to be around 33 trillion naira. And with the envisaged new investment and turnaround, it is expected to reach over 70 trillion. This will ensure more jobs for millions of our youth who are battling unemployment. In view of the foregoing, you will all agree with me that these contributions have exposed His Excellency Professor Zulum to stand out as a hero for pastoralists in the country. After due consultation with the Fulani pastoralist leaders in the state, I have the honor and privilege to confer you with the title of Jaworo Fulbe Borno. Thank you. I made the Ngarannam Livestock Settlement Project for generations to come. Before I conclude, I challenge His Excellency in his address to also speak in Fulfulde, just like I did in Kanuri. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. That has been the National President, Mieti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, Magban, Alhaji Baba Uthman. The next goodwill message will be delivered by the National Chairman, All Farmers Association of Nigeria, Architect Kabir Ibrahim. Can we give him a resounding round of applause as he comes to deliver the goodwill message within 2 minutes, sir?
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Umar Azilum, CON, MNI, FNS, all other protocol duly and respectfully observed. A goodwill message by Architect Kabir Ibrahim, National President of All Farmers Association of Nigeria, APAN, on the occasion of the inauguration of Ngarannam Livestock Settlement, Ruga in Mapa local government area. It is very exciting for me to be here on the occasion of the inauguration of a livestock settlement in Borno, especially against the backdrop of the challenges the Northeast region has suffered over the past several years. We congratulate the government led by His Excellency Professor Babagana Umar Azilum and the hard-working resilient people of Borno State. This effort-making event is a good testimony of the potential of the livestock sector of Nigerian economic and the wonderful effort of the Zulum administration to bring food security to the entire people of Borno State through sustainable livestock development. Where the national president come from, he's from Kasina. We view the farmers' cuisines of Miam Kuka, full of nama, as highly nutritious and nourishing. So I am not surprised that the governor, who I am told was a youth copper in Kasina, is responsible for this Ruga. I wish you very successful in the case to bring prosperity to the good people of Borno State. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. My name is Alamin Umar Alawan, NPOM. I'm the president of Borno Agri Village and Upper State Chairman, Borno State. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
That has been the representative of the National Chairman, All Farmers Association of Nigeria. This session ends with a goodwill message by the National Chairman, Al-Haya Cattle Breeders Association. Can we give him a round of applause? Okay. In the absence of the National Chairman, Al-Haya Cattle Breeders Association, I would like to, at this point, hand over the stage to my co-anchor and mentor, Honorable Larry Obadia, to continue with the program.
Thank you, Abdullahi. Can we encourage him with a round of applause, please? Thank you. The youths are actually coming up. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have had a lot of speeches and we have listened to a lot of messages. It is time to spice up the occasion a little with cultural entertainment and drama performance. And first, I'd like to invite the personal band of the district head of Mafa, Prince Abakawusho Abubakar's personal band, to please come on stage. In 5 minutes, only 5 minutes, after which we'll take a drama performance from the State Council for Arts and Culture on the theme of today. Inama Surawang District Head Namafa, please come on stage. 5 minutes. You have only 5 minutes. 3 minutes actually. Minti uku. Later at the gala night tonight, we have more opportunity to watch all the other cultural performances, which we cannot take here now because of the paucity of time. Please come on stage. You have 3 minutes. they will all feature tonight at the gala night. The Arts Council Cultural Troupe with the drama performance is next. Please come on stage.
No. It has to be tomorrow. Tonight. Gala night.
Well, I just have the instruction now that the drama has been rescheduled for tonight at the gala night. Arts Council Cultural Troupe, just hold on. The performance will take place later tonight at the multi-purpose hall in Maiduguri. Please. Thank you. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, Honorable Minister of Livestock Development, all other protocols most respectfully observed. Your Excellency, we move on now to take remarks from the Honorable Minister of Livestock Development, and it is my pleasure and privilege to invite Alhaji Idi Mukhtar Mayor, the Honorable Minister of Livestock Development, to kindly come forward to deliver his remark. Honorable Minister, sir. Make sure you put it through.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم من خمزه ونفخه ونفسه والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله محمد بن عبد الله رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Your Excellency Professor Babagana Umar Zulum and the newly minted Jaurori of Borno State, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor and a fellow active cattle farmer, the Right Honorable Speaker of Borno State House of Assembly, Your Excellency, my senior brother and mentor, Senator Bukar Kyari, the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, was ably represented by the Permanent Secretary of that ministry. His Royal Eminence, the Sheikh of Borno, Alhaji Dr. Bukar Umar Ibn Garbai Al-Amin El-Kenemi, other traditional rulers here present, members of the National State Assembly, my professor and co-chair of the Presidential Livestock Reforms Implementation Committee, the Honorable Chief Judge and Grand Cadi of Borno State, Directors General of the federal and state agencies, MDS here present, stakeholders, members of the press, both electronic and print media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am today full of knowledge because the organizers of this event had put me in between two professors. And I have gained so much knowledge by staying between a professor of political science and a renowned professor of agricultural engineering in the person of the executive governor. I approached the governor yesterday. Being in Maiduguri, I wanted to learn a few Kanuri words. And the governor confused me when I said, Alangubro, he will say Aiki. When I said Ndawatu, he will say Aiki. When I said Ndafe, he will say Aiki. I said Fajara, he said Aiki. And he got down on me that this is a man who knows nothing in his life since the assumption of the leadership of his office apart from Aiki. Anything I ask, he will say Chida. Ndawatu, he will say Chida. Ndafe, he will say Chida. Ndawatu, he will say Chida. I got tired and said Fajara, he said Chida. This is a man that knows nothing apart from delivery. And our stay here today and the commissioning of this edifice just testify to what he was saying. He knows nothing but Aiki. I am delighted to join you at this occasion of the commissioning of the Ngarannam Livestock Improvement Ranch Settlement built by Governor State Government. I wholeheartedly congratulate and commend His Excellency, the Executive Governor, on this laudable project, which will immensely benefit the good people of Borno State and Nigeria in general, with attendant implications for addressing the food security challenges of our nation. Today's commissioning of the settlement underscores government's commitment to modernizing the livestock sector. The ranch is not just a settlement, it is a symbol of hope, a symbol of resilience, a symbol of progress, fairness, and justice. It will provide livestock farmers with access to pasture, water, improve animal health, service delivery, and infrastructure to support sustainable and climate-stable livestock production, and the quality life for the herders. The settlement, which will serve as a hub for feedlot operations, will guarantee the supply of animals in regular cycles. It is expected to produce certified animals that can meet international standards for meat export and local consumption. Furthermore, the settlement will serve as a peace-building mission, and with the improvement of the security situation, more youths and women will engage in livestock and its value chain activities, which are too numerous to mention here. Ladies and gentlemen, indeed, this project aligns with the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, and the broader vision of the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development, who was recently established, which aims to sedentarize pastoralists, enhance productivity, and build peace between farmers and herders for sustained social harmony and national prosperity. Livestock development and modernization is about the building of the foundation for a post-oil economy. Our gathering here today, therefore, is a demonstration of our collective goal to transform the nation's livestock sector from its present subsistence state to a commercialized, vibrant, productive, and sustainable sector that will contribute significantly to Nigeria's gross domestic product and create jobs, reduce poverty, and economic growth. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is noteworthy to state that the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development is currently embarking on key intervention to support the efforts of the state governments to harness the inherent potentials of the sector. These include, but not limited to, rehabilitation of the grazing reserves and livestock markets across the country, breed improvement, as we have just seen here, and vaccination, as was just demonstrated here, against transboundary animal diseases such as CBPP, foot and mouth diseases, and PPR. Furthermore, feed and fodder value chain is being organized through the cluster and productive alliance models for sustainable production. The goal is to transform the feed and fodder component of the value chain into growing businesses that will guarantee profit for the farmers. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to reiterate that the ministry will continue to partner with Borno State government as it takes such giant strides to reposition the subnational livestock sector and the national livestock sector at large. Let me equally use this medium to advocate for partnership with other state governments in our concerted efforts to transform the livestock sector to a more efficient and productive sector for national prosperity. Once more, let me conclude this. Congratulate His Excellency, the Executive Governor, and the good people of Borno State for this bold and timely step. My appreciation also goes to the critical stakeholders for the success of this project. May I invite His Excellency, as I go back there, to assist in branding the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development to symbolize the noble journey in the transformation of the livestock sector for better national prosperity. I also want to invite the Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, to assist us in branding the the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, Livestock Development. We will be branding His Excellency the Executive Governor with the logo of the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development. He will, of course, be assisted by the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Dr. Marcus Ogubi, who is standing in for the Honorable Minister of Agriculture. His Excellency, the Executive Governor, as a standout performer in the livestock and agricultural sector, is being branded by the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development, led by the Honorable Minister himself, Alhaji Idi Mukhtar Meya, and supported by the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Thank you, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor. Thank you, Permanent Secretary. We now take the last in the series of remarks, and it is my pleasure now to invite the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, who is standing for the Honorable Minister, Senator Abubakar Kyari, CON. My pleasure now to call on Dr. Marcus Ogubi, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, to give his remarks. Permanent Secretary, sir.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Engineer Professor Ngarannam, eminent fellow Nigerian Secretary of Engineers and Executive Governor of Borno State, and a man who is passionately committed to providing a unique and uncommon and exemplary leadership to the good and lucky people of Borno State. Your Excellency, it will interest you to know that I've always looked at this occasion an opportunity for me to have a one-on-one with you, because I've always loved your ways. Probably because you're an accomplished engineer just like I am. I'm a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers and also a fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Agricultural Engineer. Your Excellency, Dr. Umar Usman Kadaful, Deputy Governor of Borno State and Supervising Commissioner, Ministry of Livestock and Fisheries Development. The Honorable Minister of Livestock Development, Alhaji Idi Mukhtar Meya. For want of time, let me align myself to the already established protocol. It is with great honor and privilege that I bring the greetings and well wishes of the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, MNI, to this gathering on the historic occasion of the official commissioning of the Ngarannam Livestock Improvement and Ranch Settlement, a flagship project
aim at fostering sustainable livestock development, enhancing food security, and promoting peaceful coexistence among communities. The Honorable Minister is unable to be here physically, but he has sent a strong delegation of officials of the ministry, led by my humble self, the Permanent Secretary. This milestone we are celebrating today is a testament to our collective commitment to advancing the livestock subsector, a key pillar of Nigeria's economy. This program also exemplifies the vision of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security to create modern, climate-resilient crop and livestock and fish farm settlements across the country that will improve the livelihood of stakeholders in the agricultural value chain. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security therefore commends the completion and commissioning of this livestock improvement settlement, and on behalf of the management and staff of Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, I wish to congratulate the Borno State government. I commend the unwavering leadership of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, whose policies have prioritized agricultural development as a cornerstone of Nigeria's economic diversification and food security. I also extend profound gratitude to the trailblazer, the People's Governor, His Excellency, Engineer Professor Obagana Umara Sulum, MNI, the Executive Governor of Borno State, for his exemplary leadership, and to the entire people of Borno State for making this project a reality. As this settlement is commissioned today, I urge all stakeholders to take full ownership of the facilities, ensuring its sustainability and optimal utilization. It is hope that we will all work together to replicate this model across all local government and other regions in country, thereby transforming Nigeria into a hub for quality livestock production in Africa to achieve food security, especially ensuring availability of livestock-based protein for our children and the youth in the African region. I wish to state that the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, led by Senator Abubakar Kwari, MNI, is a reliable and dependable partner to any state and organization in promoting agricultural development, food security, and economic diversification in our country. Once again, I congratulate the people of this community and all other stakeholders involved in this transformative journey. We must also commend our security forces in their role of protecting the farming communities. Together, we are building a future where agriculture thrives, community prosper, and Nigeria achieve lasting food and nutrition security. Thank you, and may God bless our dear governor, bless our dear president, and the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Permanent Secretary, Agriculture and Food Security, reading the speech of the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Distinguished Senator Abubakar Kyari, CON. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, I want to invite the Secretary to the Board, Honorable Buka Tijani, who will most kindly invite His Excellency, the Executive Governor, to deliver his address. And I need to also announce that after His Excellency's address, His Excellency will go back to his seat while we take the vote of thanks, the closing prayer, and the national anthem. And then we proceed to where His Excellency is going to do the symbolic presentation of the houses, keys, and livelihood support to beneficiaries. The Secretary to the State Government, sir.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Umara Zulum, CON, MNI, FNSC, FNIAE, Special Ambassador to the 75th anniversary of the University of Ibadan, the first university in Nigeria. His Excellency, the Deputy Governor, His Eminence, the Sheikh of Borno, Honorable Minister of Livestock Development, Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, our erudite Professor Muhammad Ibrahim, co-chairman of the Presidential Livestock Reforms Implementation Committee. I beg to stand on the respectfully well-laid protocols. I also ask for the indulgence of His Excellency to make two quotations. His Excellency signed into law the Appropriation Bill of 2025 for Borno State on the 6th, Monday the 6th of January 2025. The theme of the act, which is popularly called the budget, is budget of recovery and continuity. This artifact, this settlement, has a lot of elements in terms of livestock development, pastoralist development, agriculture development, peace building, increasing security, as well as recovery of livelihoods of pastoralists and farmers from a protracted crisis caused by insurgency, and also recoveries from different facets of the economy, from COVID-19, from the insurgency, from the recent floods, from the slowdown of the global economy. So it is one of the most important activity projects to see to the recovery and continuity of Borno State, in particular, but at large, Nigeria. I have the singular honor and privilege on this note to invite His Excellency, and I quote now, Professor Joga said, exemplary leader among equals. I also want to quote the United Nations Secretary General, Mr. Antonio Guterres. When he came to Borno State, Nigeria, he met with His Excellency. He took a trip to Banki, many other parts. He had quite a number of stakeholder discussions, and he applauded, commended, and named His Excellency the best governor in the world. Your Excellency, I have the privilege to invite you for your speech.
Sit down, please. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Borno State, Alhaji Umar Usman Kadahur, who is also the overseeing Commissioner of the Ministry of Livestock and Fishery Development, His Eminence, the Shehu of Borno, His Excellency, the Minister for Livestock Development, Honorable Minister Alhaji Idi Mukhtar, my senior colleague, Professor Atahiri Jaga, co-chair, Presidential Committee on Livestock Reform, members of the National Assembly that are here, MD Northeast Development Commission, the representative of the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, ably represented by the Leader of the House, Honorable Dige Mohammed, and other members of the Borno State House of Assembly, the Secretary to the State Government, members of the Borno State Executive Council, Chairman of our great party, Alhaji Bello Ayuba, State Executive Committee members of our party, the representative of the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Minister of the Minister of Agriculture, who is the Permanent Secretary of Federal Minister of Agriculture, the Secretary of the Livestock Transformation Committee, my senior colleague, Professor Kuta, Special Advisors, Senior Special Assistants, SSS, Permanent Secretaries, Chairman of Local Government Council, Security Chiefs, stakeholders, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press, the beneficiaries, Assalamu alaikum. Today is a momentous day for livestock development in Borno State, as we gather to commission one of the 3 senatorial district livestock improvement and ranch settlements located within our expansive grazing reserves. This occasion symbolizes not only our commitment to sustainable livestock agriculture and food security, but also our resilience and determination to rebuild and transform the livelihoods of our people, particularly those affected by insurgency and displacement. This significant project, undertaken in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security under the Special Intervention Program, which reflects our collective vision. It is part of our broader strategy to transform the livestock sector, which support rural livelihoods and enhance food security, as encapsulated in the Borno State 25-year development plan. This infrastructure represents a beacon of hope, restoration and resilience of our people. Beyond establishing these settlements, my administration has taken additional steps to restore livelihoods of our people who have suffered a protracted period of insurgency. Each of the 461 households from 18 communities in Mafa local government area of Borno State who have been victims of Boko Haram insurgency will receive a bull, a heifer, goats and humanitarian relief, especially a 25 kg bag of rice, 25 kg bag of maize, 15 kg bag of beans, clothes, mattresses, blankets, mats, amongst others. This support is not only merely a gesture, but a solid investment in the livelihoods of our citizens and a vital step in their journey towards self-sufficiency and a dignified manner. We are also handing over the sum of 50,000 naira to each of the heads of household. In addition, housewives will also receive 20,000 naira in addition to their wrappers, mattresses, and others. And I want to assure the people of Borno State that inshallah, before the expiration of my tenure, Borno State government under my distinguished leadership will close all the IDPs, inshallah. IDP camps. In addition to the 461 houses that we are just commissioning, next to this building, close to Mafa, we have additional 160 houses that are yet to be occupied and shall also be commissioned very soon. Today, I call upon the multinational commercial livestock investors to join us in this transformative mission. Borno State, blessed with vast grazing reserves and fertile land resources, offers a unique opportunity to livestock growth and productivity improvement in Nigeria. We are ready and open for partnership that will not only enhance livestock productivity, but will also transform a thriving agricultural hub, generating wealth, employment for our people. Let me, in conclusion, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Commander of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, for his visionary leadership establishing the Federal Ministry of Livestock through the recommendation of the Presidential Livestock Reform Implementation Committee, co-chaired by Professor Attahir Jaga. Mr. President, I assure you of Borno State unwavering commitment to fully aligning with the federal government's programs for livestock reform. Let me use this opportunity to congratulate the Minister of Livestock for his well-deserved appointment. He has the passion, he has the commitment and tenacity in ensuring growth and development of the livestock sector in Nigeria. And on behalf of my colleagues, the 36 state governors of Nigeria, I want to assure you that we shall support you in achieving your mandate. Let me also use this opportunity to commend Professor Attahir Jaga and indeed the minister and his team for taking their time to come to Borno State. They did not stop only in Maiduguri, they proceeded to Mafar within this period of our insurgency to witness this occasion. This shows their degree of commitment to the noble objectives of transforming the livestock sector. May Almighty Allah in His infinite wisdom reward you. Let me also use this opportunity to congratulate and also to commend one of our own, the Minister of Agriculture, Senator Abu Kari, for the support that we have enjoyed under his administration as the Minister of Agriculture. I want to commend my colleague, an engineer, the Permanent Secretary, for being here. Let me also use this opportunity to commend all those that have contributed to the success of this story, especially my able Deputy Governor, his advisor, the Chairman and the Director General of the Livestock Development Agency are also well commended. Let me also use this opportunity to commend the MCRP team that are here, commend the team of the Ministry of Agriculture, State Ministry of Agriculture, and that of RRR for providing the enabling support and commitment to drive this process. I also want to commend the Director of the Livestock of the Ministry for Agriculture and that of the Ministry of Livestock, with whom we started this journey together. And today we are witnessing this event. The last but not the least, at the bottom of my heart, I want to commend the Shahu of Borno State. He has been here for the last 4 to 5 hours. It's very rare to see His Royal Highness, His Eminence, standing for this period. And I believe it's because Mapa is his own hometown. Not because it's hometown, because of his commitment to the livestock sector. Borno, home to Nigeria's largest livestock population, stands poised and ready to lead in this sector, creating a sustainable and prosperous future for all. And very soon, inshallah, I will invite the minister and also invite the chairman of the Transformation Committee to commission another Ruga farm in Rumirgo. I want to also acknowledge the presence of the district head of Rumirgo, and in this is senior brother, Professor Aisha of the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, all the way from Rumirgo to come and witness this occasion because they are anxious to see the commissioning of the Ruga farm in their own hometown. Thank you all for joining us today in this historic event. Together, let us build a future resilience, economic prosperity, and lasting peace and security for Borno and Nigeria in general. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Long live Borno State. Assalamu alaikum. Jama sa chulula kanurin manay. Zauro nyandiro askrinyana. Amler Borno zauro nyandiro askrinyana. Andero karakliwa. And they are karnuwa ala isidia ya nongore kiambao. Kaulok tunde dajina ala isidia banang guwiyan. Rukin amma pa imbe inalan kada srosam nadiyan sandiya ba onde ada lewi ala isidia. zilime bana de nyandi anadhin inshallah da jin yandiro longoroto kin nye idone bana fanduwa ado so wande dia kreare le dewi ngawlan kreare na gaden saladina logumanen saladina ada mara gaji waro yoro wako ni nalan shwa malumshi kreare le dimi ala itidi afanna moya aw yenade hunena karan yandiro chaye kana di gono nyandi sura kausa de namnuwa tun biska kuro kadiu nyandiro askrinyana ala itidi nyandi abana nyan maran do fandu wiye sura la nyandi akutie nyandi asondi mbai ala itidi kana di gono na tindile fa herra la namnyaw lor bornaira puro yadiyaw malam shaso nye sammaso bor ma fayde ko liwa ala itidi local government gade sammaso rakto de lo toro nyandi abana nyan jama so am lar ma faye nyandiro askrinyana am do ne lar ma faye ge samnalo isana samma soro nyandiro askrinyana secretary of state government askrinyana commissioner nyiro askrinyana askraro askrinyana. Let me use this opportunity to commend the security agencies for creating and providing the enabling environment for us to do this work, and also for protecting this very beautiful edifice for the last 2 years. We need your support to sustain this place. Thank you very much. Askrinyana nyoro. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you. Yusuf, hello. Thank you, Your Excellency. Please let's take our seats. Let us take our seats. Let us take our seats. Before we finally round up, and His Excellency, we go to do the symbolic presentation of the keys to the houses and livelihood support to the beneficiaries. We shall be having a very short vote of thanks, after which we'll take the closing prayers, the national anthem, and then His Excellency will proceed to the point where the livelihood items have been displayed. May I now invite Honorable Tijani Goni Mohammed, Special Advisor to His Excellency on Livestock, State Ruga Coordinator, and Chairman Organizing Committee for a brief vote of thanks. Honorable Tijani Goni.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, MNI, CNN, the Deputy Governor and my overseeing Commissioner, Dr. Umar Katafur, Your Eminent, the Shehu of Borno, Alaji Dr. Abubakar El-Amin El-Kenimi, CFA, FNA, the two special guests of honor, Honorable Minister of Livestock and Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, our special guest speaker, Professor Jega, Co-Chair, Presidential Livestock Reform Committee. I wish to stand on the already established protocols with your permission, sir, because of want of time. Mine is just simple vote of thanks. I start with the Almighty Allah for granting us this opportunity to be part of this progressive development throughout the 4 years of these constructions, rehabilitations, and establishment of this livestock improvement and ranching settlement. And may I also thank His Excellency for providing the needed political will and support and the proper supervision throughout the 5 years of this construction exercise. I can recall when we started this program in 2021 February, His Excellency himself came and provided a array of security personnel, including army with their armored cars, police, NLS, Security Defense Corps, and the local hunters to start this program, the construction. When first we started, the period of construction for the laborers was only 3 hours being allocated by the security agencies because of the level of insecurity by then. That 3 hours by then was between 10 to 1 o'clock. So with the support of His Excellency, we couldn't stop. I just commend His Excellency for providing us that support and having the resilience in doing this exercise. For the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development then, and later Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, for providing and collaborative effort, where 40% of the activities or construction activities were done by the federal government, and the 60% were provided by the Borno State government. We both thank the federal government and the state government for that opportunity and provision. Lastly, may I thank particularly His Royal Highness for gracing this occasion and having very special interest for livestock farmers in the state. Because I can recall when we are going around the 27 local government for verification of the root causes of the farmers' hardest clashes in the state, His Royal Highness, the Sheikh of Borno, Santol, and asked the rest of members of his council to support us in doing that job, where all the district heads, village heads were involved. Your Royal Highness, we are grateful for this support. For our guest speaker, Professor Atayir Jega, sir, we are very, very grateful for coming to this with your team, like your secretary, Professor Kuta, Professor Iyai, and Madam Winnie and others. Thank you very much for all the team, including Professor Kalla. I can see many of you, sir. And for the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and for the Ministry of Livestock, the Permanent Secretary who represented the Honorable Minister, we are very grateful, sir. The rest of the special guests, because of time, I can't mention your names. I have seen a lot of heads of securities, including Nurses Commission, University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, University of Maiduguri BC, and a lot of others. Please bear with us. We are very grateful for coming here. And the rest of State Executive Council, my colleagues, the special advisors, permanent secretaries, and all others who graced this occasion. Lastly, I thank especially the security agencies for providing all these and members of all my committees in organizing this befitting occasion. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chairman of the Organizing Committee and Special Advisor to His Excellency. At this point, we are rounding up, and once we say the closing prayers and the national anthem, His Excellency will go around just to acknowledge the crowd that is there, and then move over to the houses over there, where the symbolic presentation of keys and livelihood items will be made to 4 beneficiaries as a symbolic presentation. At this point, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we shall take the closing Fatiha. And once again, I'd like to invite Sheikh Modu Mustafa to lead us in the closing Fatiha.
اللهم إنا نسألك العفو والعافية والمعافاة الدائمة في الدين والدنيا والآخرة. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. اللهم بارك لنا فيما رزقتنا وارزقنا خيرا منها يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. وصل اللهم وسلم وبارك على عبدك ورسولك محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين.
Shall we rise now as we take the national anthem of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Thank you, everybody. We now most respectfully invite His Excellency to be supported by the Honorable Minister of Livestock Development.
Welcome back from the live telecast. We'll now continue with our regular programs. Stay tuned.
Experience information and entertainment like never before as TVC Breakfast takes your weekends to a whole new level. Introducing TVC Breakfast Weekend Edition, your ultimate source of thrilling sports updates, insightful political analysis, and captivating entertainment news. Stay in the know with what's trending, catch up with the latest in sports, and immerse yourself in the latest buzz and movies. Your weekends are no longer just days off, but moments packed with knowledge, excitement, and enjoyment. TVC Breakfast Weekend Edition.
As of December 9, 2024, the Nigeria Correctional Service says out of a total 81,193 inmates spread across its custodial facilities nationwide, 26,944 persons are convicted, while 54,249 are standing trial. This majority include inmates who are on trial before the magistrate or high court, and those who haven't even had a day in court. This yawning disparity amounting to almost 70% has been the narrative at the overcrowded facilities.
They kept bringing me out again for the first time to torture me. They want to kill me.
Until May 2024, when they were finally freed, 48 years old Moses Abiodun and 53 years old Kazim Adeshina were among this population of non-convicted inmates. They say a series of arrests across Lagos by the now-defunct Special Armed Robbery Squad of the Nigeria Police Force in June 2008 brought them together on a 16-year-old journey, spanning from the SAS detention facility to being remanded at the medium security correctional facility, Kirikiri.
When the OCSAS now came, the OCSAS now interrogate us. That's what happened. I said, I don't know anything. This is how they come to arrest me in my house. They were asking me about Femi who is Femi? So the officers now gave them order that they must not kill us, so that these people you arrested, is either they release us or they took us to court. They took us to this court, court 18 at Ikeja on the 23rd of March 2009. So the magistrates now asked us that we should not plead guilty, that we should wait for DPP advice at court 18 Ikeja. So when we get to Kirikiri Medium Prison, no, it was even at the court dock there. I know that me and these people were casemates. Me, Kazim, Sikiru Taiwo, and Lukman, Jimo. They took the four of us to court together. We were standing at the door. They said we should wait for DPP advice. So when we get to Kirikiri, it's hello.
Time of Gajini.
It was during Gaji's tenure as OC SARS. Their teams usually carried out several raids daily and would bring in many people they arrested to the cell. When they arrested me, I didn't see the IPO for up to a month. We were arrested in June 2008 to 2024 when God used these lawyers to help us. We were freed on May 1st this year. I have not found work to do since I left jail.
The lawyers who helped in their release say the police refused to heed the advice of the Director of Public Prosecutions at the State Ministry of Justice for their case files to be moved to Ogun State, where the matter originated from, and that was why they were abandoned in custody.
The action of the police kept the young men to stay 15 extra years in custody without trial, without charge, just upon the remand of a magistrate. The victim of a